Welcome to my 2020 year recap. Hello friends, happy first day of 2021. I know I look super dressy, and that's because this is probably my favorite dress besides like maybe my wedding dresses, and I haven't gotten a chance to wear it because we all know 2020 has been very crazy. So I'm sure everybody's glad to finally be in 2021. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this year goes much better than last year. But this is actually my very first year-end recap. I've never done one of these, although this is only like my second year on YouTube, so last year I didn't do it is a more accurate statement. And I know that 2020 might seem like an odd year to begin doing this in, but I actually think that it's probably the best year to do this in because this year definitely had so many pitfalls and obstacles. I think that this was the year to really do your best to try remembering to practice gratitude. So I think that doing a year-end recap this year is a great way to look back at the year and remind myself of the things that I was grateful for that happened within 2020 so that I can go into 2021 with a positive mindset. Despite it being a harsh year is how we will put it, it actually ended up being a pretty good year for me on a personal and business level. So I'm super grateful that I was able to come out this year on top in those areas of my life. I'm lucky enough to have all of my friends and family healthy and thriving. I know that that's not the case for a lot of people out there, and if you are experiencing that, I just want you to know that my thoughts are with you and I'm sending you and your family good vibes. But there's a lot of things this year that I want to look back on very fondly, which is going to be the first part of this video. We're going to go through my year and just all of the bright spots in it, and then I want to share some 2021 goals and manifestations that I have for this year with you guys, and some of those do have to do with YouTube. So just a quick reminder here at this point of the video, please like and comment on this video. Tell me one of your favorite parts about 2020. As hard as it might be, just try to practice that gratitude of at least one thing that you were grateful for this year. And also, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. Like I said, I have a lot of fun things that I have planned for myself in 2021, and I'd love to take you along on the ride. But for right now, looking back at 2020, and please bear with me, like I said, this is my first time ever doing a year-end recap, so I have my notes here. If I'm looking down a lot, that's why. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. But man, 2020. Again, this is going to be a practice of looking at the positives as opposed to dwelling on the negatives of the year. But this year kind of started off for me with big hopes of travel, and I was able to get some of that under my belt. I was able to check off 2 different places from my bucket list. The first one was Texas. I've actually never been to Texas. I live in California, and I've just never made it over there, and I love barbecue and stuff like that. So when my work gave me the opportunity to go work out of our Texas office for a week, I jumped at the chance and I was so excited to go. I got to try a lot of yummy things, some real genuine Texas barbecue, and it was just kind of nice to see my company's other side of their culture. I work in the California office, obviously. Well, right now I'm working from home, which we'll get to in a second, but it was just really cool to see a different lifestyle and just kind of like change up my surroundings. The next highlight of 2020 was another travel bucket list thing, and I still can't believe that we got to do this in a year where travel got shut down within the first quarter of the year. The fact that we actually got this trip under our belt, I just feel so blessed and lucky that we were able to do that with that timing. Trevor and I actually got invited to our friend's wedding, and the wedding was in Melbourne, Australia, and it was at the very end of January into the beginning of February, and there were at the times like ramblings about COVID, but nothing too serious between Australia and the US, at least when it came to traveling and stuff. So we were able to get this trip under our belt, which was just such an incredible experience. Besides getting to go to our friend's wedding, which was absolutely beautiful, we got to explore Melbourne, the food there. Oh my God, you guys. Hopefully when the world opens back up, you guys can go. The food in Melbourne was amazing. The coffee was spectacular. Trevor had his first coffee in years in Melbourne, and now he has become a coffee drinker because they made it right for him the first time. So he now is open to experimenting with and trying coffee, which was a really funny outcome from that trip. But for me, the highlight of the trip was definitely checking off getting to feed kangaroos off of my bucket list. That was the coolest experience. We went on this like full day excursion, and one of the activities was getting to go to the Maru Animal Sanctuary where we got to feed wallabies and kangaroos, and it was the coolest thing. We also got to feed a koala and meet a koala. It was just such an awesome day, and definitely something that's gonna be a memorable experience for me for years and years and years. And then unfortunately, after we got back from Australia, within 3 weeks, the pandemic hit and we were shut down. Everyone was told to stay home, and we got put into our very first lockdown here. And again, I don't want to dwell on the negative too much, but just like for context, you know, it sucked. the numbers were terrible and I hated not getting to see my friends and family. But again, training myself to practice gratitude and look at the positive side of things. One of the positives that came out of that was that I was kind of given the gift of time, and I had ample time to create tons of content for you guys. I amped up the amount of videos I was doing while I was in quarantine and just like getting creative with everything, and you guys responded so well to it. At the beginning of this year, I believe that my subscriber count was somewhere around 600 or something like that, and one of my goals for 2020 was to get to 1,000 subscribers and get monetized, which I was able to achieve in quarantine, just producing content for you guys and you guys being so supportive by watching it, sharing it, commenting, liking, and all of that stuff. And so this year in 2021 alone, I gained 1.3 thousand subscribers, which for a channel that only started out the year with about 600, that's a lot of subscribers. So I want to thank you guys so much for hitting that red button and sticking with me and watching my videos, because hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark was such a big moment for me. It was emotional. I felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulder because I had achieved such a big goal of mine, and I'm so thrilled that I was able to do that this year. And then obviously coming with 1,000 subscribers, I got monetized this year, which is such a huge thing, to be able to turn something that's a passion of yours into another source of income, just because you're already doing it for fun, you're doing it because you love it. So to be able to also help support yourself and your family with that passion is such a big thing, and I'm so grateful to you guys for helping get me there and for continuing to watch my videos. Being a monetized YouTube channel has been a dream of mine for over 5 years. So to actually have that now, had that been the only good thing that happened to me this year, I still would be so grateful for it. But something that came with getting a monetized YouTube channel, I wanted to upgrade some stuff, and I was able to do so because I was now obviously making money off of the channel. So I upgraded my camera. I had to do it a little bit earlier than anticipated because my current camera at the time kind of broke on itself. So I upgraded to the camera that I'm filming on now, which is the Sony a6400, and I love it. Getting this camera really just like kind of solidified it for me that this is now essentially a business for me. Investing that much money into this channel really kind of like shifted it for me. I mean, I'd always been very organized with my content and stuff like that, but it really put me in more of a mindset of like, okay, this is a business now. What can I do to make it better? How am I going to invest the money that I'm making from it back into it so that I can just keep creating more and more content that you guys are going to love? Another fun thing that I got to check off my bucket list this year, again, due to quarantine, because I don't think we ever would have gone had theaters not shut down, but I'd always wanted to go to a drive-in movie. They're so nostalgic, and we never would have thought to research that heavy into drive-in movies had there been regular movies open. So that was a big highlight for me. I know that it's something very small, but for something that I've always wanted to do my whole life, that was such a fun first experience, and it's actually turned into a regular date night for us now. We're actually gonna go tonight. The day that I'm filming this is the day after Christmas, and after we're done filming, I'm gonna take my makeup off and we're gonna go watch The Croods tonight, which I'm very stoked about. Another small but significant thing for me that happened this year was my cousin, who got engaged at the end of last year, at the end of 2019, asked me to be a bridesmaid this summer. So I'm so excited for all of the fun wedding things that are gonna come up for that. The bachelorette trip, as of right now, is planned to be a very big ordeal, an international ordeal. So again, hopefully, fingers crossed, more travel in 2021. But then at the end of summer, I got to fulfill a goal of mine that was something that I didn't think that I would get to do for a very long time. And I actually got to work with Forever 21. Michelle and I got invited to their headquarters to basically create content with them. We created TikToks, Instagram posts, and they styled us in a bunch of different outfits and sent us home with clothing to create more content on our own if we wanted to. So that was just such a big opportunity for me this year, such a huge deal, and I still can't believe that I got to work with Forever 21 at this level. That was just an absolute dream come true. I'm definitely hoping for more opportunities like that in this coming year, keeping my fingers crossed. We also got to do a new thing for Thanksgiving this year, which was really cool. We usually do Thanksgiving here in the area because both of our families are here, but because of the pandemic and the fact that you can't do big gatherings, we just decided to hightail it out of California for Thanksgiving, and we went to Arizona to go celebrate with Trevor's sister and her family, and it was just the best time. I loved getting to change up Thanksgiving for us this year. Don't get me wrong, I love my big family Thanksgiving. It's one of the funnest things ever, but once in a while it's great to do something different. And what I loved was that we got to get away, we were on vacation, we got to relax a little bit more, and we got to have fun with family and just chill out and get a different change of scenery. And then my last highlight of this year, which was like both a goal and bucket list thing, was actually being able to purchase my first designer bag all on my own. I've owned designer bags because they have been gifted, but to actually purchase a bag, I know that every penny that was spent on that bag was money I had earned, was such a big accomplishment for me. It's something that I've wanted to do for years and years and years, but things kept coming up. I wasn't making enough money. We had emergencies happening. I just wasn't being disciplined enough to actually save for it. But this year I actually buckled down, saved the money, and I purchased the bag. And it's just like one of my most cherished possessions, not because of the fact that it's a designer bag, but because of the fact that I worked really, really hard for it and I did it all on my own. But yeah, that is my 2020 recap. Like I said, it was actually a pretty good year for me despite a lot of obstacles that came up during the year, but I am definitely eternally grateful for my family's health, for Trevor and my health, for our animals' health. We had a couple of scares with Pip and Spartacus, but both are healthy and happy as of today, and looking forward to spending another year with our little fur babies. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, I wanted to share a couple of quick goals that I have for 2021. The first one is to travel more, and I'm sure that this is on everyone's list, but I actually do have trips lined up. I have a little getaway weekend planned with Michelle for early 2021, which you guys will see in like a couple months. And then we are hoping to be able to reschedule our Europe trip. Last year we were supposed to go to London and Paris. We're hoping that we'll be able to reschedule that one and actually go summer of this year. So we are keeping our fingers crossed that we're able to go. And then we are potentially going south of the border in December for a friend's wedding. So lots of opportunities to get away, and we're just hoping that the universe aligns and that we are able to travel freely again very soon here. I also have some goals with upgrading my equipment. I want to get a new computer. I want to get a new lighting system. And then I also actually want to get a new vlogging camera. I love vlogging on the A6400, but it is big, it is bulky. And if I can find a more compact camera that's like a point and shoot that is pretty good, I'm thinking that I want to switch to that and just leave this for sit down videos, but we'll see. I mean, I'll still be using this to vlog for a little while, but I think it's just going to be more efficient for me to have a smaller camera because there's so many opportunities that I miss vlogging because I don't want to lug this around. So just to be able to create better content for you guys, I think I want to invest in a second camera. And then like I said, I'm going to be finishing up my full filming space up there. What you guys see whenever I film upstairs is just a small corner. I actually have a whole like section that's meant for filming, and I'm only using a small piece of it right now. So I really want to finish up that space, which on that point, another big goal of ours in 2021 is to finish furnishing this place. We are missing a coffee table. We have a pantry picked out so that we can start cleaning out our kitchen and dining room area and then actually get a dining room table. I've never had a dining room table, you guys. Like, it's crazy. I would love a dining room table. I'd like to be a grown-up. So that is a goal, is to finish off that section, because I also know it's an eyesore whenever I'm like filming in the kitchen because it's just turned into like a little storage nook and it's not cute. I know that's not, I promise. We're gonna work on it this year. And then just for my channel, I would love to see 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you guys could help me again by liking, commenting, sharing my videos, that would be really, really helpful. It's not necessarily about the numbers. My goal is always to create content that is connecting with you guys and that you guys enjoy, but the numbers do reflect who you're reaching and whether or not you're resonating with them. So that's why I do put a number to it. But even if I don't hit it, but I know that I've created content that you guys have enjoyed all year, that to me is equal to actually hitting 3,000. And then this last goal of mine is one that you might have already noticed. I am rebranding. I'm in the middle of it. If I have finished everything on time and planned this out correctly, this channel's appearance has changed. You guys saw a new intro on this video and the name on this channel has changed. I am gonna go by my name. I just feel like it's a little bit more personal. But if you notice on my banner, I am still keeping Bottled Ambition. That is what I consider to be my brand name. And one of my big goals and why I want to get a new computer for myself is that I want my own website. I want to start actually blogging for you guys, making shopping guides and stuff like that. So please keep an eye out for that website. I'm hoping to do that in the first half of this year. And when I get close to launching, I will definitely let you guys know. You guys can sign up to be part of the email list so that you know exactly when the website launches. And then I plan to do like bi-weekly digests of like everything that I posted in the last week. It'll also include YouTube videos that I want to highlight that I've posted. So in case you guys missed a video, you can get that like bi-weekly digest in your email and see all of the recommendations from me and catch up on all of the videos from me that you might have missed. But anyways, that is going to be it for this 2020 recap. Like I said, this year despite the obstacles, was actually pretty good for me. And that's not meant to brag. This is just me, again, continuing to stay positive and be grateful for what did go right for me. If you faced hardships this year, just know that my heart is with you. And I hope that this year brings you and your family all the health and happiness in the world. But I think it's definitely great to still do a 2020 recap for yourself, even if it's just private, just again, to practice gratitude so that you go into 2021 with a positive mindset. I really encourage you to do that, whether you sit down and film it or just sit down and write down everything good that happened to you this year. I think that that would be the perfect way to kick off 2021. But anyways, I've been talking for a little while now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it here to the end, I really appreciate it. And I love you. Happy New Year, and I will see you guys very soon in my next one.